welcome again. Today on Elite Media, we're going to have a conversation with a former CUSA member, Secretary General, and I won't introduce him. I'll let him introduce himself.
Thank you, Liz. My name is Brian Oduor. I'm in my 4th year pursuing Bachelor of Commerce Accounting option. I'm the immediate former Secretary General, and before that, before being the Secretary General, I was also a faculty rep in the Faculty of Business Studies. Yes.
So, Brian,
yes.
What motivated you to vie for the position?
Motivation of vying for the seat of faculty rep or Secretary General?
Both.
Both of them.
Both. Yeah.
Okay. Initially, it is always the need to serve. You know, the people in the faculty rep position, it was the people. I was not the one. We were seated in a class, and then I had my class asking for who can be the next faculty rep. And then I have some of my friends in the faculty who just approached me and told me, Brian, the current faculty rep ako karibu kutoka. And next, hatujui ni nani, lakini you fit for the position. You know very well that this Brian that is here, he was just a blogger. And now people are saying that he fits for the position. And he was not a vocal blogger. He was somebody who is just behind the screen on the keyboard, busy supporting a certain person. Now people are just endorsing you as the next possible faculty rep. So you go in, and then I don't like letting people down. So I went in because I don't like letting them down. You know, when people see something in you and then you sit down with it, you are likely to let them down. So I decided to take the chance in the faculty rep position. Okay, in the Secretary General position, now it was more of the people and me. Now the motivation, the need to serve the comrade. You know, once you are in there, you always, you know, being in leadership, you are at service center. So you always want to serve. Like right now, I can tell you that I even want to serve. But now, even in the near future, I will be in National Assembly, in the National Assembly there. As maybe an MP or in the Senate, as the senator, I will still serve. I really loved serving people. So there was that growth of servanthood to people. So it pushed me. I want to serve people. On which capacity am I going to serve people? So I decided I wanted to serve people in the Senate. But after the coalition agreement, they told me, the two of you, you and your friend Jakato, cannot be in the Senate. So one of you has to go in Senate, and the other one you have to choose another position other than the academics director. So I told Jakato, you go for president, as the coalition has agreed. Me, I'm coming back as a Secretary General. Because now, here, I want to speak for the people again. Yeah, that was the motivation, actually. Yeah.
So what is this position called Secretary General?
A Secretary General is about being the spokesperson of the people. I've told you need to speak for the people. You are the spokesperson of the association. And the association is not CUSA, the governing council. No, the association is the members. You cannot call something an association with the leadership structure. No, leadership structure is just a partial representation of the entire association. So association is made up of the members. And the member of this association are the students from first year all the way to the final years. Those in undergraduate study, that is bachelor, and the diploma student, they are members of this association. So you have to represent them. You see, so you being the spokesperson of the association, that is your major role. That is the Secretary General. You are not just there to be a Secretary General. No, not to be in suit. No, you need to speak for these people and their interest. That is their major role. Yeah.
So the Secretary General role, it has a lot of things.
Yeah, you are right. Yeah. And they are stipulated in CUSA Constitution. I think it's Article 18, if I'm not wrong. And then that CUSA Constitution states clearly that there are various roles of a Secretary General. But some of them, other than being the spokesperson, you are also a signatory. When you are a signatory, you know very well that pesa mkitumia vibaya, you are the one mwenye atakuwa na hot soup. So pia unaangalia pesa za wanafunzi zisitumiwe vibaya. Wewe kama Secretary General, kukienda vibaya, inabidi uongee mwenye anatumia vibaya. Yeah. Other than that, you are also supposed to be an active writer. So when do unapeana notice, when do una take down notes minutes ukiwa kwa meeting. Yeah. So those are some, but not all. Yeah.
And what challenges did you undergo?
In leadership?
Yeah, in leadership.
There are so many challenges, Elisa. There are so many. Like right now, if we decide to disclose some of them, it will be unfair. You know, in leadership, people love joking with the name, especially wale wanasikingi attention. Wanatumia jina yako venye wanataka. So ukiwa leader pia kuna vitu tatu huwezi toroka. Nitaanza na national politics. Ukiwa national politics unakuanga umejitolea vitu tatu zinaweza fanyika. One of them, you can be killed anytime. Yeah, the second one, your name unaweza haribiwa anytime. Jina yako huwa inaharibiwa anytime. Third, you must be extremely generous na unaweza end up kwa poor. Si ndio? So hizo vitu tatu zinakuanga challenges. Unaelewa? Major challenges.
But sasa kwa hiyo, unasema you can be killed anytime.
Yeah.
You are a student.
Exactly. I'm a student leader.
How can your fellow student kill you?
No, okay. This one I used. If you got me right, Elizabeth, I said in national politics. Makiu, as a student leader, we are always late after being student. We try to be activist. You know, somebody like the late those young men akina ule mwenye alizikwa Migori, mwenye alikuwa from Mombasa. That young man mwenye alikuwa mwalimu actually. He was also a student but he was killed. Sindio? Other than that, kuna akina Rex Masai wenye walikuwa ma-activists. Some of them were students like Denzel. He was a student na alikuwa killed. So huwezi help up from that in politics. It is there. But now in Chuka hapa you cannot be killed. Campus politics is not easy to be killed. So the remaining two will take place. Your name will be joked around with like a playing ball. And then finally you will be extremely generous. Extremely generous. Yeah.
So how did you feel when the other students maybe walikuwa na kuongelelea vibaya, saying this person is not good for this seat? How did you feel?
No, I've never had people saying that I'm not fit for that position. Yeah. Maybe I had some of them saying that you are also fit for the presidential position. They also told me some of that. But I've never had them complaining. But I had some of the critics, you know, hakuna kitu inaweza kosa critics. Yeah. So I had some of the critics saying that Oduor and Jakato and the team, they squandered interfaculty money. And by then, the challenge is not squandering. The challenge was there is that we were using the rest of the initial government, the former government. You see when things are going in and then unaenda pale unaenda peleka budget wanakuambia hii mnaenda sana, hii rate ni hii wenye last regime walitumia. So nyinyi pia mnajaribu kutumia hii. Kumbe hiyo yenye walitumia haikuwa na chenye players wengine walikuwa wanataka hapa. Unaona? Sasa hiyo challenge pia tuko nayo, lakini sasa umejua wanaona ni kama mlitoa pesa na mjakula. Hapana, ni venye pesa haikutoka yenye walikuwa wanataka. That's why the challenge, the interfaculty haikufanyika by then. But ya girls ilifanyika, ya boys iliendelea last tukimalizia. So during mental health tulikuwa na interfaculties. Ni ukweli. People saw, and then the faculty of humanities and social science, if I'm not wrong, walibeba the nini. But the previous hiyo regime ingine, faculty of science ilibeba, but my faculty was almost carrying the name. Ni venye nilinyang'anywa. Yeah.
You see, during your time, people were saying that you people are tribalism. Mlichukua wajaluo wote mkawaeka pamoja.
Wapi? Tuliwaeka wapi?
Like most of the leaders were Luos.
No. That's a lie. That's not right. Like if our government was distributed, if you aspired, kama ulikuwa aspirant, it is not us who are taking you into that position. No, it is the comrades when you are voting. So if Luos were just good enough to convince comrade to vote them, we did not tell the comrade to vote only Luos. Sindio? Yeah, there were so many aspirants, even within our coalition as well. So we were not tribal. The comrades, maybe they were the one that were tribal, not us. They only managed to vote in the Luos. Why? If you are complaining, it was Luos.
but okay, according to me, so many of the Luos were leaders during your leadership.
Yeah.
Why and how? Mbona mkuchanganya watu mchukue wakale mchukue those kisses?
The problem is coalition, and even not coalition. The problem is the students themselves. Like, for example, if you, as Elizabeth, you comes out, you want to be an aspirant, and then unaomba kura, and then you have an opponent who is a Luo. She's called a Chieng, and a Chieng is good and eloquent enough, and she knows how to put her point in order. She knows how to use a political language than you, Elizabeth. Then the comrades end up electing or voting in a Chieng. Is it my problem to say that now, why didn't you vote Elizabeth? Is it my problem? It's not my problem. It's just you work on your eloquency yourself. Yeah.
So, and the students, which challenges did they face during your era?
Some of the challenges, but we tried to solve them. Mental health was a major issue. I'll not lie. I'll not hide Right now they'll be watching as members of the fourth estate. I'll not lie. Mental health was a challenge. To an extent, we lost one of them to suicide. Yeah, so we tried our level best to ensure that now, again, we are reviving these mental health issues. You see, in our school, there is a safe space, and then around Pavilion is a mental health well-being area. So after the incidents, you cannot say you are solving a problem that is not there. You must first of all see the problem there, and then you solve. That's the benefit of planning. You might foresee a problem in the near future. So after the issue of losing a comrade, I can remember the department, especially from the Dean of Student. Dean of Student, we are under that office as members as well, student welfare. So you realize that now the issues of mental health zilikuwa zina increase sasa. Wenye zinasolvika, how we allow comrades to talk, like when they sit there. I used to pass by, then nikipata comrade akiwa amekaa hiyo area, nakaa naye tunaanza kupiga story. At least akitoka hapo una make sure a comrade amesmile. Unaelewa? Na kama alikuwa na shida ya njaa, unapata unaichukua hapo, unaweza mtumia kakitu ama umchukue umpeleke kwa feeding program in CUSA. Actually, I will say that during our regime, we increased the number of students in feeding program, and they were well distributed. It was not tribal. Ungepata ati kuna wajalo wengi kwa feeding program. No. That's a lie. Yeah. Other than that, I think also students were claiming that they are being disturbed with issues of fees. So the new funding model, it's not our problem, it's the government problem. You cannot put it to Oduor. Oduor is a student also. So we try to solve the government problem by also asking the Vice Chancellor to allow the students in, even without clearing the fee. They also did exam without clearing the fee. But let's be honest, you can do exam without clearing the fee, but you will not graduate without clearing the fee. So don't take advantage of that period that now shule ina allow watu wafanye mtihani kama hawaja clear the fee. You will end up not graduating, and there is no need of you coming to campus when you don't want to graduate. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, there is this issue of gate pass.
Yes.
You see, in your era,
yeah,
people used to maybe permanent, temporary gate pass.
Yes.
But in this era,
yeah,
people do not go for temporary gate pass.
Don't say this era. It started during our era, during our regime. We found temporary gate pass there, which was only allowed for the first 1 month. We negotiated with the Vice Chancellor. He gave us an extension. But during the extension, you are not to go for a temporary gate pass. What you are to show is only an ID, whether student or national, at the gate to show that you are a student. So if you had the ID, you could pass. But also, don't fight gate pass so much. Gate pass is one way, as an accounting student, I'll tell you, an organization must also take mitigation factor towards financial management. So if our institution goes into liquidity, goes into a state where they are into, leave alone, let me not use the word liquidity, light word, they are not able to manage how they pay their salary, how they pay whatsoever, then university, they are non-profit making organization. They don't make any profit. So if they don't make any profit, how are we going to generate income to pay these people if you are not paying fee? So the gate pass is only to ensure that the learning process goes on smoothly. You cannot study in a dirty area. So those people who clean there need to be paid. So they are paid using the money you pay as fee. Those who teach you as part-time lecturer, some of them are paid here by the fee. Leave alone the lecturers. There was a time when lecturers were striking. Why do you think CUSA did not strike? They used your fee to pay the lecturer, and then later, they can negotiate later. So you can see that this fee you are paying at least is doing some jobs. The building you are seeing here, some of them are being financed by soon we are expecting a bus that is coming. We also launched an ambulance when we were in. How do you finance those? Through the fee you paid. So it's one way of generating income, and that income is what they used to invest. Without that, we cannot do anything. So gate pass is not a bad thing, but allowing students to study is also a good thing as well. So you are to see which one is lesser evil. You see? Yeah, so the lesser evil one was kindly allow them as they continue paying. So we agreed with the Vice Chancellor, and then it's a continuous process. At least I'll appreciate the current regime for adopting the thing. At least it's a legacy that is living in. Yeah.
So a question that I can ask you.
Yes.
Did you have any disagreements
In the government?
Yeah.
That's why I was the SG. No. Initially, I will say yes. That's why we had opposition. You know, in our government, I won with 1 vote. That one means my opponent was also strong, right?
Yeah,
His coalition dominated the Congress. My coalition dominated the governing council. So that one means when there are many in Congress, they might just decide to stop your regime. So initially hapo tukakuwa na challenge, but one thing I love about Jakato, he's very wise as well. As a president, he acted wisely. He called the Congress without the governing council. Even me, I did not go. Reason being, he wanted the Congress to feel like now it is the Congress with the president. We are talking without the governing council. You know, some of the Congress had issues with some members of the governing council. But at least as a wise man, he called them, talked to them, and showed them that we are one government. From there, we were serving the comrade smoothly. And also, kukikuwa na kunakaa ni kama kuna issue peke yake, kuna leta shik. Now you are the SG, you are the peacemaker. You are to bring in peace where there was no peace. You are the Christ of the association. Yeah.
Okay, so, and in this case, let's say, in your era.
Yes.
Okay, you have said I should not use the word era.
Regime.
Okay, in your regime. So, how did you help to the challenges? Challenges zenye mko mnapata. Unakuwa able aje
kusaidia?
Yeah, like what can I use? What can I use?
Kuzireduce?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think nimekupata. During our regime, it was very funny, by the way. Si tumereduce kitu ya kwanza allow students wasome na wajalipa fees. Hiyo tumereduce challenge. Hadi kuna time nyingine you students, by the way, students are always funny. You have not cleared the fee and then you are required to pay the fee before sitting for exam. You decide to call for maandamano. So we also decided to negotiate with the association, with the management, to allow you people, the students, by then to sit for exams without necessarily clearing the fee. Sindio? Simulifanya. Yeah, people did that. And again, other than that, wale wenye mlikuwa unapata like mtu analia mambo ya njaa, we also had a feeding program yenye wanapelekwa. I told you we had the highest number. Other than feeding program, mtu alikuwa anakuja anasema mimi hii wiki moja tu ndio niko na shida. Mtu kama huyo tulikuwa na mahindi. Tukiingia hapo tuliletewa mahindi na alumni with some amount of money around 160,000. This 160,000 kulikuwa na students wenye tulipata huko kama Dina alikuwa na list akawalipia fee. Unaelewa? And then mahindi mtu mwenye alikuwa anasema yeye anaona tu ni wiki moja ndiye atakuwa na shida. Mtu kama huyo ulikuwa unampea mahindi na mchele na dengu. So some students were direct beneficiaries of those. And then unaona mtu mwingine anakuambia mimi na yeye ni leo tu nimekosa, kesho naona naweza pata. Mtu kama huyo ulikuwa unamtumia kakitu anaenda kukula. So you are solving such issues. And then about mental, we were now tulikuja into kwa ground sana. Unaelewa? Yeah.
So during your time.
Yes.
No, you are still a student.
Yes, I'm a student.
So how did you able to cope with it? The same time you are a leader, and then at the same time you are a student in your academics.
Managing the two.
Yeah,
I've been leadership for 2 terms. Zile yenye mnaambia Ruto 2 term. Mimi nimeshamaliza 2 term yangu kuchuka. So first term nice takudanganya. Nilireduce na points 10.
10 points.
10 points. You know what 10 points is? So here you are somehow new in leadership, and then campus politics demands a lot of campaign. Physical meetings are many. Classes hata zingine unaenda tu for physical ndio watu wakuone kiongozi wetu wako na sisi. But you are not there psychologically. So psychologically unafikiria opponent wangu anafanya nini yenye sifanye. But I'll be honest. In my faculty huwezi shinda mtu na kura more than 30. Lakini during my time nilipiga mtu double. So I did a lot. Uko hapo unafikiria opponent yangu anafanya nini, uko class hata akili haiko class, unafikiria tu kuna class fulani inaendelea. Wacha nikaombe huko kura ndio nirudi.
So
Unaacha class unaenda kuomba kura. Because now the ultimate goal, if after being endorsed with the student, I don't like letting people down. Me by the way, ukini endorse for something, I go for it as if I'm the one of the dream. So then I don't like failing. Sitakangi kuambiwa ati I lost a position. I've never lost. And I don't like that statement of losing. So I went in na kila kitu to an extent. Hata time ya class ningeacha class naenda kuomba kura. Unaelewa? Na every time uko na meeting, unaenda class unaandika notes, ukishaandika notes hata zingine uandiki kutoka class hivi